Oh, dude.
Sick. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna continue working on our 2016 Lamborghini Huracan. But before we get started, I wanna go ahead and announce our new merch drop. And these are our new Huracan t-shirts. Very soft, very comfortable. And check that out, the Goon Squad in flying Italian colors, dude. That is legit. We only have a limited amount of these guys. So go to goonsquad.com, copy some, and support your boys.
And actually, I do want to do something special for the first 50 people that order one of those shirts.
What?
We're gonna throw in one of these wristbands that we have not shown yet, so you might get one. We got 4 different colors, so you may be one of the lucky fans to get one of them in your package.
Only the first 50 though, so go ahead and copy something. So now, guys, let's get to work. So today we're gonna start with one of our most important pieces and one of our toughest tasks is this front rail section right here. As you can see, we showed you guys before that it was damaged. We're gonna have to cut this old one off and actually cut the good one off of our parts car and try to get this thing all TIG welded in and aligned perfectly so we can go ahead and throw our hood on and then start doing the body work. As well as the rear section over here where the rear radiator is. We told you guys in the previous video that we were waiting on that bracket and it should be in here by the end of today. So fingers crossed that's in. But before we do anything else, we're gonna go ahead and grab a TIG welder, get some paint, all that good stuff necessary to go ahead and start working on this piece.
Alrighty guys, so first stop is gonna be O'Reilly's. We're gonna get some paint here. This is the O'Reilly's that has the paint mixing stuff, so we're just gonna get a little bit just to paint those bars up and stuff like that. Let's see if they got something. It does have a little bit of metallic flake.
Yeah, that looks exactly like it.
So
It's that dark white.
So if it'll work for Nason's, just to cover.
Yeah, this is just going on the frame structure pieces, so not a big deal.
All right, guys, we got our paint right here. This Glacier White.
Oh!
Glacier White. Let's go ahead and go pick up a TIG welder so we can go ahead and start TIG welding.
All right, so second stop of the day is gonna be V-Tune's garage, where he's letting us borrow his TIG welder, because you know we do not have our own, but hopefully all goes well and we figure this thing out. Have you figured it out yet?
Nah, I tried it, but
he's learning. Yeah, he's still learning. He only tried it for like 5 minutes, so we're gonna give it our best shot.
Is this the rim you're gonna fix?
Yeah, we're gonna try to weld it completely up. Hopefully.
It should weld up.
Yeah, with this little device right here, it should do the trick.
All right.
All right, man. Appreciate it. We're gonna give it a shot.
Third stop, we're at the welding store, gonna go get some aluminum welding rods, and I think we're gonna head back to the shop.
All right, so what did we just get?
We got some aluminum brazing rod, then we got our tungsten, and we are ready to go practice some aluminum welding. All right, guys, so we are back at the shop, so let's go ahead and set this thing up and start practicing. So guys, after a bunch of tries and a bunch of practicing and also a lot of research, we just cannot get it down on this TIG welding aluminum stuff. This stuff is absolutely difficult. Maybe if we do a little bit more research and have a lot more time with this, we'll probably get it down. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and leave that alone. We'll probably end up using our spool gun, do a few test runs and see if it does any better, or we might just leave it up to the professionals. But for now, we're gonna move on to the front of the car. So we're probably gonna go ahead and strip all this stuff off this broken bar here, cut it off, move on to our parts car, cut that one off also, and then get it ready for some welding. guys, so we got this area prepped. We got our blankets on it so we don't cause any other damage. I got my cutting wheel on this grinder ready to go. And guys, this is the most important thing right now, is to cut it as straight as possible, because this is gonna play a role in how everything else lines up. We do, however, got some adjustment on the hood hinges and all the other brackets. So we do have a little bit of room to play with, but we still gotta try to get it as perfect as possible. So let's start cutting. Crazy, dude. The whole entire thing just came off right there.
But you did a perfect cut. It's pretty dang good
right
there.
up to that thing. Now we can go ahead and put this piece to the side, and I'm thinking right here what we're gonna do is probably go ahead and try to pull this out a little bit before we do a cut, because it is bent in. So I'm thinking we can get it with a crowbar or something, put it in there. It's aluminum, try to bend it out, and then we're gonna do our cut.
Just try to pull it like that. It's just gonna bend. Easy.
It's basically in its original spot, you know?
Yeah, just
Almost
about
there.
As soon as that crack right there closes.
Yeah, definitely in its original spot. Probably gonna have to do a nice cut right along here somehow.
With that fine tool, I think that fine tool does a pretty good job on the tight areas, right?
Yeah, it really does. It does a pretty good job. We're probably gonna go ahead and go underneath it first. There's only one weld here and one spot weld here. That's gonna loosen this side up, and then all it does is one weld right there and then this weld. So there's really not much welds. The biggest weld is this one that just goes around this side and halfway on this side. So let's go ahead and keep cutting and hopefully get this thing off as well. Dang, just like a tooth, man. That's pretty crazy. It just came off where it cracked. I am gonna have to trim all this up though, but it's gonna be a lot easier since this piece is already off. But as you can see, this bottom support right here did have a little fracture right here. We're just gonna have to weld all that up. Not a big deal. Get everything prepped. Then we're gonna go over there to that parts car, cut that bar off, and hopefully get this thing welded up and ready for that hood, that fender, that headlight, and all that good stuff. Alright guys, so before we actually start cutting it off the other car, we did notice that this piece is actually bent pretty good that way. As you can see, it's turned left a little bit. And the best way to straighten this out is gonna be from behind with some kind of hammer, just to hammer it up a little bit, and it should go right into its place. But to do that, we're probably gonna have to go ahead and drop this wheel and also drop this spring shock, whatever you wanna call it. And then once we drop all that, we should be able to get right behind there pretty easily. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's not waste any time and start taking this off. Alright guys, so we just straightened out this area right here with a few simple taps. It's all in its original spot. Now we're gonna go ahead and throw this suspension back together, and then we're gonna head to the parts car and cut this frame structure piece off, and then we're gonna practice welding and hopefully get this welded in by today. There it goes.
Man, look at that clean cut, dude.
Right up to that metal. That's exactly how I want it to be. Dang. Whew, finally, we got this piece off. And probably the best way you can get it off is by cutting as close as possible to that metal, so we'll have very little bit of room to move around and basically can weld it exactly where it should be. So let's go to our actual Lamborghini that we're going to be rebuilding and see how well this bar fits.
Hopefully it just fits in here just like that one came out.
Right?
Let's see it.
That's the goal. Well, we're going to have to, you see how much weld is left on here,
yeah,
how I cut it?
You cut it differently here. Good thing you cut it off perfectly.
Oh yeah.
On this actual bar.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to get some of these welds off because this is gonna just align perfectly with that, and we can just weld this sucker in, dude. We're good. Look at that, dude. It's almost there, boys.
Almost.
It's almost there. Alright guys, so now that we got both sides cleaned up, ready to weld, we're not going to fully weld these bars in just yet because you want to actually just tack it in on both sides, but tack it in its original spot, and then put our body panels on like our hood and fender and see if everything lines up. And then once everything checks out, we're going to have the A-OK to weld it all up. So let's go ahead and start tacking.
She's tacked in there.
She's tacked in now. We're gonna throw the hood actually on and see how well it lines up with that fender. That fender is a little bit bent though, guys, so we may have a little bit of issues, but let's just go ahead and grab it and bolt it on, see how well it fits. So hopefully, fingers crossed that this is straight so we don't have to cut it again, but it looks really good. So let's go ahead and grab that hood. Dang, look at that.
Oh my goodness. This one lined up perfect, so I think we may have to, oh, this is the damage he was talking about right here. There is a slight damage there, but I don't think it did too much. That body line is pretty dang good.
That body line is really good, really good.
Be nice to try another fender, right?
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. You should throw this fender on just to mock it up and see exactly if it fits perfect. Alrighty guys, check that out. After a bunch of adjusting and all this good stuff, we went ahead and threw this front bumper on just so we can get this line. It is all bent up though on this side, that's why it's not lining up with this. It's all like, it's been squished in all sorts of ways, but on this side, everything looks really good. As you can see the difference in the color we were talking about, this is almost like a darkish, grayish white, and this is just like a pearl white, so both the same color codes. It's just a slight difference in the way they mix the paint with the pearls and stuff. But dude, check this out, dude. The Lambo is coming together, guys.
Looks amazing,
Dang,
dude.
that looks so sick.
Well, even with the broken bumper.
Yeah, we're still waiting on a front bumper. Still haven't got it in, but dude, I wonder if what it looked like if these lights cut off.
Oh, go hit him, dude.
Definitely.
Oh, I don't think the battery's connected. Remember? Oh, you connected it? Oh, dude.
Sick.
This is the good side right here.
Yeah, it almost looks done on this side. And as you can see, come over here. Let me show them that this fender is bent right here as well. Bent in and outwards. I guess whenever that hood, when it got wrecked, this whole fender just got bent. So we are gonna be using the fender off the parts one. It is perfect condition, so no big deal. But dude, man, look at that front end.
Amazing, dude. Dude, that just looks so freaking sick. Look at that. We are still gonna have to adjust some things in the back here. The door needs to go down a little bit. We noticed that.
Yeah, the door definitely needs to go down right here. It just didn't sit on its hinges properly. But other than that, guys, we're ready to basically pull this whole entire front end back apart, weld that bar up on both sides, paint it up, and do a completely, basically put the whole front end together as much as possible. When we get that front bumper, put the front bumper on, and basically it is gonna be ready for paint. So that is legit. honestly super excited to be at this stage. I thought that bar was gonna be a lot more difficult to install and do all that good stuff, but we took our time, we aligned everything properly, cut everything properly, and we are here looking at a front end of a Huracan.
Looking at the front end of a Huracan and also looking at a huge mess, which we're gonna clean up, but I guess we'll catch these guys tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to catch these guys tomorrow because we got a lot of cleanup to do, so peace. Next day here, and we finally received the package we've been waiting for, so let's go ahead and crack it open and see what we got.
There we are, man. Nicely packaged. This is from Royalty Exotics. This is from Exotic Auto Recycling. And man, they do package stuff really nice. So we got a rocker panel there. A slightly damaged rocker panel. We already talked about this, but it's gonna be easily repairable, right?
Yeah, it just, as you can see, it got too close to another fire damaged vehicle, you know? These Lambos, man, they just catch on fire when they get hit right in that fuel tank, like I said, how close it was, but not a very hard repair, super easy, just gonna have to sand it down, smooth it out, and then repaint this whole thing. But check that out, we finally got our rocker panel, and we should have our vents right here.
Ooh, nice.
These are the vents and ducts that actually go towards that rear radiator. As you can see, it'll probably sit just like this. You see that?
Yeah.
And then this vent sits just like that somehow. As you can see, the side skirt right here probably goes exactly like that. That's perfect.
Yes, sir.
They gave us a really good deal with the side skirt and the vents, so they've been hooking it up since day one. And also,
another very important piece here, right?
Right here, this is the bracket, guys. This is the bracket.
They cut it off perfectly.
Yeah,
didn't
they did. They probably used our technique, a little saws off. But as you can see, bam, super simple, super easy. All we gotta do is just weld it up. And also, we did order this other bracket. It does connect to this one. This is actually the bracket that the radiator sits on. As you can see, these rubber grommets, as well as it screws onto the inside of the quarter panel. So we are all good on brackets. Side skirt, all we're waiting on is the front bumper, guys, and that should be basically all the parts, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, we could pretty much put the quarter panel on.
Yep.
Once we trim it out, we could put that door panel together on the inside, do all the internals.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff. I mean, this whole build has been fun, so everything is fun here.
And also, I'm thinking about before we throw the quarter panel and the side skirt on, we want to go ahead and paint the whole entire thing, the quarter panel and side skirt, so we get that base white on there. And then whenever we paint the side of the car, basically the whole front end, then that's when everything is white, everything paints really nice and smoothly, everything matches, and we get a good match on all the color.
Alrighty, guys, so that is pretty much it for all of the parts that we're gonna need, and we are pretty much done with the parts car, aren't we?
Pretty much. I don't really know anything else that we need so far on this thing, dude.
I don't know what we should do with it. What should we do with this thing?
We got plenty of options, plenty of options. We can either sell this whole entire car as a whole to everything, all the parts that we're not going to use, just put it back on here, or take this thing apart and part it out, or three, I just want to take that engine out and see if it's good or not. But other than that, man, there's a lot of parts still here. We can do a little walk around. There's tons of rear end parts, tons of parts, even the tons of parts in the engine bay. Like, there's still useful parts in here, as well as a door, a side skirt, suspension, coolers. I mean, everything. As you can see, this car still has plenty of parts. Even though it's burnt, you still got tons of it here. So let us know what you guys think we should do with this, and we'll just go with the best option.
Thomas, what do you think we should do with it? Thomas the Hellcat. He said since it's not a Hellcat or American Muscle, just scrap it.
Scrap it.
Now, there is valuable parts here, but yeah, let us know once again what you guys think we should do with it. Oh, what were we wanting to do? We were wanting to get into something that I
want to open this glove department right here.
Glove department, compartment.
Yeah, it's definitely melted shut around here, but maybe if we get like a crowbar or something, we can pop this thing open.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What if there's like a stack of money in there?
Maybe.
Oh, where's that money?
Oh,
give me that money.
Nothing.
Empty, ain't it?
No, there's some paperwork in here.
Oh, sweet.
Let's see what we
Dude,
got.
let's investigate.
It's just registration and all that
Dealer
good
certification.
stuff.
So I guess this is a rental company, of course, but
Definitely.
That's pretty much it for this parts car, man.
What about this
Center console?
Oh, this one opens right up. Oh, we got some kind of wire in here. Oh, we don't have this.
What is it?
This looks like a USB. Let me
Oh, sweet.
You see this?
Oh, so we weren't done with the parts car.
We weren't. We still got one more.
Dang.
This is so we can run a USB.
I was wondering what that port
Yeah,
was
that's
for.
what I said. I was wondering what it was for. I guess they had it in here because people like to plug in their USB. I don't know. I think it's Bluetooth, right? These cars?
Yeah, 100%.
So,
Gotta be.
I mean, if you want to just plug straight up, we got a cord now. Hopefully it's good. It looks a little bit blackish, but we should be still good.
Alrighty guys, so that is gonna be a wrap for today's video. We finally got that front end looking great. It is coming together. And also I wanna go ahead and mention that we did restock on Thomas the Technician merch. So be sure to get you one of these if you missed out on the last merch drop. And also guys, the Huracan shirts are going quick because we did an early announcement on Instagram. So be sure to follow us there where you can get an inside scoop. So with that being said, thank you guys for all the love and support. Be sure to stay tuned and we'll catch you next time. Peace.